Happy New Year, everybody. I hope everyone's doing well and you're all engaged with your higher selves. Anyway, so another new year, another fragrance review. And I thought, what better way to start it off than another Aventus Clone. So, as you know, I've done a few Aventus videos now on Aventus itself and the clones and buying batches and everything else. And these clones just keep rolling out. I mean, I've got 10, 11 clones. I mean, actually saying that probably less now because I've given a couple away because I didn't like them to people I didn't really like. But there's always going to be another one. If you've checked out any of my other videos, you'll see that I'm a big fan of the Club de Nuit limited edition. It's extremely good. I actually feel there's probably there is no point in batch chasing anymore or buying the current versions of Aventus when that's there to be had for a very good price. But that doesn't mean that there's not always a new kid on the block. People old enough to remember that shit boy band. And this is the one today. Inside of Parfums, Insidious. I have to read it again to remind me what it's called. Anyway, so couple of comments came on the last Aventus Clone video I did and said try this one out. So I thought, well, I reached out to a couple of guys on a forum I'm on, Aventus forum and fragrance forum, and one of them had it, but he, for reasons I'll get to, he didn't want me to. He didn't want to post it out. So I said, that's fine. I will tell you why in a bit. So I thought, you know what? I couldn't believe the price. 70. It's about 70 quid for 50 ml, which is, it better be good. That's 140 quid for 100 ml of it. That better be good. It better be good. Yeah. Anyway, so here we go. So as I said before, my current fave is the Club de Nuit limited edition because it's really good stuff. I won't go over that again because it is good. What I brought down today to compare this to is I brought down a couple of my versions of Aventus. So I've got a 17 S11 here, which is a nice sort of sweet wood pencil shaving kind of off the bat. Obviously you've got that, you get a lovely bergamot, but it focuses more on the sweet woods and kind of, like I said, more not a pineapple bomb, but it's bergamot and sweet woods off this one. And the other one I brought down was a decant of my 14G01. I put them in little bottles like this, so I'm going to keep using my one up. I can throw this in a case or whatever, and if I'm going away or whatever. So this is 14G01, which is a pineapple bomb. It's a monster of a pineapple bomb. So I thought it'd be interesting to compare it to the two, because from what I understand, if you read on Insidious's web page, they sort of recreate the sort of legendary batches of fragrances. I've only got the Aventus one so far. So would that mean that I may like it enough to buy something else? Well, we'll find out. And I know there's Pineapple Vintage. I think that's an American firm. I did have one of theirs. I hated it, but I'll bore you about now anyway. So so here we go. So presentation wise, it's not the best. You just get the little box, and the bottle in there. To be honest with you, I'll be honest, because I've got no axe to grind. No one pays me for the shit I do. Why would they? And so it'd be the sort of thing fiver in like a BAM shop. So it's not great. But then again, what does that matter? It's a box. So yeah. Okay, bottle. You do get you get a magnetic cap, which is nice. But the bottle's it's not the best. It's got that kind of Aventus. Anyone who's got an original bottle of Aventus like this, it's got like a sort of ribbed, black sticker around it, and they've done a similar thing with this. I mean, you can see kind of what they're trying to do there. And to be fair, Creed's bottles have never been great anyway. But they're saying, look, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're copying. So let's see how we get on. So like I said, with the 17S, you get a nice sort of sweet wood bergamot kick. With the 14G01, you get that real pineapple burst off the top. Well documented, the 14G01. So with this, let's give it a spray, and I'm going to tell you, obviously I have worn this a few times now to give it a proper test, but we'll do it live for your pleasure. so you can see what I'm getting at. So okay, so off the bat, with Aventus, if you smell the cap once you've used it, the sprayer, sorry, a few times, you get a really nice pencil shaving off of. There's pencil, that sweet pencil shaving wood off of all of them. It was more prominent in some than others. That's probably the most prominent version I've got anyway. You don't get that here. You don't really get that at all. So anyway, here we go. A couple of little sprays. And straight off that, I'm not going to bother spraying these two because I know exactly what they smell like. You know, I always say, you know, don't listen to my, you know, I don't bother talking about note breaks down and stuff because people do it far better than me, and they really are, probably everyone. But with Aventus, I will say that is a caveat. I am I've been an Aventus collector since 2015. I do know my Aventus. So this is my wheelhouse. So I when I say I don't really need to smell that, it's because I don't. So straight off the bat, you're definitely getting a pineapple. You're definitely getting a pineapple, which is going to lead it closer to the 14G. And it's sort of pineapple with it, but you have got like the sweet sort of cedar woods below it. And now what would normally happen, because I have done, like I said, I have tested this out already, is the sort of wood would sort of become more prominent after the opening, and that's what happens. And then so you get that pineapple blast, which will last, you know, on a decent version of Aventus, that pineapple bergamot will last and stay. But the obviously, like any fragrance, your opening is always going to die down. But with Aventus, it blends so well. The older version of Aventus, just powerhouse fragrances, they blend so well that not only do you never lose that top for the first couple of 3 hours, it just blends in with the mids, and then you get the sort of sweet notes and the cedar, and you know, you just get really blends well together. Now what I get with this is I can see what they're trying to do, and what they've said is, let's take a beast batch pre-15 and let's nail that top note, and they've done a really good job. I'll be honest, they have done a really good job with that. You do get that sort of pineapple, you get that sort of pineapple, but it's more pineapple with dies off to sort of like more of the oak moss type area that a lot of other batches went to, sort of more like a 16M MO1. And yeah, these sort of oak moss is coming through more now. What I don't get with this, before I get ahead of myself here, so that's the opening, and through wearing, what I found is, so let me just do a comparison quickly so you can see the reaction in my eyes when I tell you. So with, say, this, with that sort of pencil shaving you'll get from the first, definitely from the first blast, it's just a legend. It's just a legend. It is. Don't call it the king for nothing. It's beautiful, sweet pencil sharpening with, and then when you spray it, obviously that's when you're going to get that sort of bergamot sort of push. You just don't get that with this. It's certainly not on the cap. No, it's not. Even smelling it from the cap, you would think it was something else other than Aventus. But like I said, let's not completely slate it. Let's give it. You know, the bits that it does well. Let's praise it for that, and it does do that well. So you are getting, in summary, off the bat, and I know this will last for an hour like this. It will stay for about an hour like this. You are getting a sort of pineapple, hint of bergamot, but more pineapple. And then after that hour, it's going down to sort of like more of an oak moss sort of smell. I don't get, let's go further into it, like after the second hour, I don't get the sweet woods that you get in Aventus, and that Aventus is so well known for. It's people talk about the pineapple side of Aventus, or the berry side of it, you know, the berry side of it, Aventus, depending on which batch you've got. But it will always push sweet woods through, always. This, I don't get the sweet woods from it. But it's pleasant, you know, it's pleasant. I think that's how I put it. So does it compare to Aventus? No. Does it compare to anything pre-2019? No, I haven't got a later batch of Aventus. I did have a little 2 ml sample of a 2022, and it was just rubbish, so I didn't bother. But from my memory of the 2022 that I had, I would say this is comparable in how I'd say the quality of it smells. I mean, you can definitely tell they've used some good stuff in here. You can, I picked that up. You know, you could, like, if you go some like some cheap shit one, like I don't know, there's hundreds to choose from. Say, oh, what can I think of the word for it? Like, oh, it's the one in the square bottle, comments below. There's sort of cube, chrome cube one. I'll think of it and I'll put it in the description. Like that, it's cheap. It smells cheap. This doesn't smell cheap. This doesn't smell cheap at all. It really does. This was my initial assessment, and the 2 times I've worn it, both times I've thought to myself, does this smell cheap? And it doesn't. So, okay, so we'll leave that there for a sec. So let's round up on that. The first bit is the opening is good. You are getting a pineapple from that. It doesn't, so the opening is good. The opening will last, I reckon, for about an hour. You get that sort of pineapple before it starts to hit into the mids. I don't get the sweet woods from the mid. I get more oak moss, and that's where it stays. I don't really get anything lower than that. So you obviously got your top, mid, and base, and I don't really get much of a change. It goes down to the oak moss, and I don't pick anything else up out of it. So I suppose that would be a case of if you really want the sweet woods. For me, you're not going to get it. Maybe batch variations. It's an Aventus Clone. Why not? Maybe batch variations make a difference, but I've had this now. I got this in early December, so it's now January the 2nd. So is that enough time for it to macerate? I don't know. Maybe in the. I mean, obviously I'll keep it. I'll let it macerate a bit more. And now let's look at the. So that's the smell side of it. That's the opening. What I get after an hour, and what I get to continue. That's what I get. So let's look at the performance of this one. I don't particularly think it performs very well. It certainly doesn't. It hasn't gained compliments, and I feel that I'm always having to bury my nose into my arm to smell it. Now I know you can go nose blind with these things, of course, but I don't go particularly nose blind with when I'm wearing Aventus. I can smell it. If I turn around quick, I can smell it. If I walk out of the room, come back in again, I can smell it. With the earlier batches, I certainly don't get that with that. So it doesn't last. I'm saying, 4 to 6 hours. Definitely after 4 hours, I was starting to really have to bury my nose in. And what it did after that, well, it's on. It's who cares? It's going one way, isn't it? It's not going to suddenly re-enlighten itself. But again, these things are better once they've macerated. I know that's a lot better now. It's macerated. I mean, I've had that over about a year now. And that's far better performing now than it was when I first bought it. So, so from that point of view, so I suppose let's look on the bright side. If that macerates and allows its base notes to come through, which will enhance its performance, obviously, because the base notes are what's going to be on your skin, and you're going to be smelling after the top and the middle notes. That's why they're in that order. So, if maceration helps that, this could be a really good alternative. But obviously that's we're going to have to find that out over time. But even if, let's just say that does do that, and the sweet notes come through, okay, so the sweet woods come through, let's just say it does, would I then say that is a better purchase than that? And the answer is absolutely no fucking way, right? So, I've waxed lyrical acid before. Let's do 30 seconds of it. This stuff is brilliant. It is so good. It's just so good. Like, I'm an Aventus lover. I collect it. I've got 6-7 bottles of good, as we would say, good batches. And this stopped me collecting because there's no point. There's no point. Off the bat, you get that pencil shaving. Maybe that's just me addicted to the pencil shaving, the sweet pencil shaving side of it. But the other people in the, you know, on forums and stuff, they get that. They agree, and this stuff's just banging. Let's have a little spray. All right, addicted to this stuff. I don't get any frigging money from Club de Nermarth or wherever they are. So obviously, I mean, oh, straight away, it's such a lovely bergamot pineapple after that. I mean, it's more powerful. I mean, I know this is, well, it's going to be 7-8 minutes, so it should still be top notey. Oh, to me, this is even more pineapple bergamot. But then again, I have just sprayed it, so obviously let's just. Yeah, that's like I said, that's definitely although the pineapple and the bergamot is there, it's starting to, you can already start to, it's fizzing into the oak moss, the mids. This stuff just smells class. It smells like quality. You know, like I said in a previous video, if you're ever bored, go and watch both of them. But you know, it's I concluded, I think in the last one or the first one, whatever, that if this had been released in one of those bottles, if Aventus, if Creed had released it, no one would be moaning, because you get the smoke, you get a little bit of smoke in there, you get a really nice mix of bergamot and pineapple. It's a cross between the two, and it pushes, and it really projects well. And I've had this, like I said, about a year now. It's a far better performer now. It was never bad, but it's just got better and better as the months have gone on. So I still can't not. This is still the champ. This is still the champ. And like I said, I am not a perfume reviewer. As in like a professional. I don't do this for a living. I don't make any money out of it. I do it as a hobby. And if I can enlighten you guys who are Aventus fans or fragrance fans, then give you just a bloke on the street view who has to save up to buy this stuff. It's a lot of money, you know, and if I've got a normal bloke, normal job. So if a normal guy like me wears it, and I can give you my opinion on it, and if that in any way helps you, then great. If not, whatever. But yeah, but I would still say now that for me, that's still the number one. That's still the number one. I don't think it's ever going to get. I really can't see it getting beaten. And I wouldn't necessarily see the point in anyone even trying, because you know, Aventus is Aventus. That's great. It does everything you're going to need it to do. Why would anyone bother? Why would anyone bother looking for anything else? So let's just say, for the minute, I certainly won't be. And it's 70 quid, odd, 60, 70 quid with delivery for 50 mil. That's 105 mil for about £55 you can get it for. It's a freaking no-brainer. So that's my opinion on it. Obviously, as always, do what you fucking like. If you want to go and buy 10 bottles of it, that's up to you. Fair play to you. And everyone's nose is different. I mean, there have been a couple of reviews, and there are a couple of guys, good reviews actually, have reviewed it, and I think they said it was pretty good. And that's fine. You know, I'm not disagreeing with that. Everyone picks things up differently. But for me, yeah, it's would I buy it again? No. If it doesn't improve in the next 3 or 4 months, I'll flog it, because you won't use it. So, but like I said, so if you've come to this channel to check on buying that, it doesn't get the Chris Perry seal of approval, like gold standard. That gets that. At the minute, that's let's just see how it goes, and maybe I'll feature it on a review at some other point. Anyway, well, again, Happy New Year, guys. And any questions, put them down below. And I will be doing a couple of other ones this year. So anyway, thanks very much for listening. Cheers.